Hey, it's your favorite relationship coach and clinical sexologist, Candy J. On this beautiful Saturday, I am sitting in my office, just getting a little bit of my work done. And, I thought I would go live just to talk to you guys just a few moments about the top 5 reasons for divorce. And, what I'm doing right now, I am sharing to a few other places so that they can come watch as well. And so, if you are joining me for the first time, just let me know where you are joining from. I am always curious to know where you guys are watching from, whether it be Dallas, Florida, Arizona, wherever the case might be. Please let me know where you are joining from. But today, I just really wanted to talk to you guys. I posted this post maybe a couple of weeks ago. And since then, I have gotten people that keep asking me, why is this and why is that? So if you can look on the screen, the top 5 reasons for divorce, they're right here in front of your face. These are not all of the reasons that people get divorced, of course, but these are the top 5 reasons that people get divorced. It could be sex, it could be money, it could be kids, family and friends, housework. And, so I got several different questions from people asking me, well, how is housework a reason for people getting a divorce, and how is kids a reason for getting a divorce, or how can your family and your friends make you want to get a divorce? And so there are intricate reasons why these things happen. So I kind of want to just go through them really quickly. Not going to be before you very long. Definitely have an ebook out about all of this that you can cop on on Amazon or through my link. I am giving out a free ebook about this information. But so if you have never ever joined me before, my name is Candy J. I am a certified clinical sexologist through the Dr. Rachel Institute and the American Colleges of Sexology. I am also a relationship coach and a life coach, a certified MOCA marriage trainer, a marriage boot camp coach. I specialize in fostering better communication and bringing back the oohs and the ahs in your relationship. And so I do this by one-on-ones, group sessions, teen seminars, sex seminars. I have a plethora of knowledge and experience. What makes me a good coach is because most of the things that I specialize in, I have been through. And so I have the knowledge and the education at the same time. And, when you're looking for a counselor or a coach, you definitely want to make sure that they line up to the things that you're going through right now and your beliefs. And so, do your research. But I do specialize in dating after divorce, sex after infidelity, premarital and marriage counseling. So definitely a lot happening. So today I'm really just talking about the top 5 reasons for divorce. And so let's talk about the first one. And for me, the first one is housework. So how in the world do people divorce because of housework, y'all? And if you can see on my screen, you're just looking at a copy of my ebook, which I'll just take down. But housework, how in the world do people divorce because of housework? Guess why? So what happens is those preconceived notions and the things that we bring into our marriage and into our relationships come into play. So let's take you on a quick journey. If you grew up in a household, thanks Rashida, how you doing? If you grew up in a household where mom did all the cooking, the cleaning, the taking care of the kids, making sure that the house ran a certain way, and all you saw was dad come home after coming home after working all day, and he had his dinner ready, his bath water was run, or whatever the case may be, and that's all you saw in that household, then you're going to think that that's all that's really out there sometimes, and you're preconditioned to think, okay, so the woman takes care of all of this and the man just takes care of this. And let's not get it twisted. There are roles in a relationship, but those roles are what you create it to be, not what you come into the marriage thinking it should be. It is a compromise, right? It is those things that you talk about. And so what happens is, a lot of times people will think, oh, he's just supposed to take out the trash, he's supposed to mow the lawn, or he's supposed to make sure that the roof shingles are on, or whatever the case may be of that type of housework. But when in fact there are women that know how to mow the lawn, there are women that know how to make sure that the house shingles are taken care of and the gutters are clean, and all of these different type of things, because they grew up with a father or a mother that showed them how to do this. So they don't necessarily, just want you to do it, right? There are households where the man washes the dishes and the woman cooks, or vice versa. The man cooks and the woman washes the dishes, or the dynamics are very, very different, and they can be very complex if you make them, or they can be very simplified. And so some of the things that I talk to my clients about is making sure that those preconceived notions are thrown out the window. There are conversation. Okay, before we get married, or now that we are married, let's divide up the housework in a manner of which is fair to the capabilities of that person. It's not, oh, my mama used to do this, my dad used to do this. No, it doesn't matter. Throw that stuff out the window and go, okay, to my best abilities, I am able to do these things. Here's the schedule for when I'm going to do these things. Some household need schedules. Some household just need a conversation about who's responsible for what and when. It just depends. In our busy household, I have a chart that says, okay, take out the trash, the kids get the bath at this time, who does what. So everybody is different. So one of the reasons why housework breaks up the family is because people don't have the conversation. Communication is pivotal and key in order for you to have a great household dynamic. Otherwise, it's not going to work, and somebody's going to get upset. And what happens is, you don't use tools to communicate about it. Either you sweep it under the rug, or the other one is aggressive. So someone plays one of these roles, and then you don't know how to have those great conversations about, no, I really need you to take out the trash on trash day. Or, if you live in an apartment, sometimes you have valet trash. Well, valet trash may only come Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I need you to make sure that the trash is outside the door on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Or I need you to make sure that the house is vacuumed, because Aunt so-and-so, she comes over here on every Friday, and I just want to make sure the house is clean. Or, the kids always make a mess right after school. Can you just... You hear all these conversations that happen, but those conversations need to happen before something goes awry. And when it does go awry, guess what? Then you need to know how to speak to your partner. And I can get all into love languages, and I can get into respect, but that's not what this is about today. But communication is key, and properly communicating to your significant other is going to make sure that you have a firm foundation of everything. Okay, so the next thing is family and friends. So I could do a 3-hour conversation about how family and friends get in the way of marriages. And so I'm going to give you 2 different examples. And these are examples. Everybody's situation is different. But here's one. Mama is always broke. mama of let's just say the wife's mom, or if you're in a wife husband situation, whatever the case may be, wife's mom always needs money. She never has her own. She lives on Social Security, but she has retirement, but she blows her money at the casino all the time. She blows her money buying scratch off tickets all the time, and never takes care of home. So she asks her daughter to always give her money. And so she don't have a conversation with her husband or her wife to state, hey, I'm giving mama $100. Oh, hey, I'm giving mama $500. Hey, I'm paying mama's rent this month. Hey, I'm paying mama's light bill this month, or mama's cell phone bill this month. And so now you're taking money out of the household. And then now the other person is wondering, well, where did this money go? What happened to this money? We're missing $500, $600, $1,000 out of our account. And I have no idea where this money is going. And so they don't have the conversation of, hey, I need to help mama. Or, hey, mama has been using me as a crutch. And so then the other person gets angry. And it causes a huge discontent into your relationship. And now, because you're always giving money to mama and you won't stop even when your husband or your wife is telling you to stop, or actually have a conversation before you give the money out. Now, because this has become a pattern, and now you got other things going on over here too, but this thing right here is the thing that they're really upset about. But because all of this other stuff is going on too, they're lashing out. And they don't know how to talk to you, and they don't know, they're coming home and they're drunk, or they're on drugs, or they're not paying you any attention, and they're not being intimate with you because they're really mad about this thing right here. But it draws into all of the other things, and it causes a huge break in the relationship. And so that's one situation. Here's another. Friends. Okay. So your husband has a best friend. Best friend he tells everything to. And he's always, my wife this and my wife that, and my wife don't do this and that. And here his friend go, now he's not doing well in his relationship. Yeah, women ain't nothing, the other word that they use. Let's just leave our wives, or nah, you don't need her, you need me, let's stay out on the streets, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, and not taking care of home because you're out with your friends all the time. And now that person thinks that they can bud into your relationship all the time, and they're in your ear not giving good advice, they're giving emotional advice because of the other things that they're going through. So on the housework side, right, it's about communication. On family and friends, it's about possibly who you're communicating with, or what you're not communicating to your significant other. And this causes all kinds of issues. Keep your family and friends out of your household. And when I say that, I don't mean that they can't be around and they can't laugh and joke and you can't tell them any of your business. But what I mean is, when it comes to your family, make sure that it's okay to share these bits and pieces of, especially if you're arguing about something, to that other person. Have a designated person that is a family or friend member that you are okay with. Your significant other is okay with you talking about what may be going on in your household. Why? If it's a person that they approve of, then most likely that person is going to give sound advice. They're not going to be biased towards you. They're not going to be biased towards him. They're going to give you some sound advice. So when you're choosing someone that you are able to talk to outside of your relationship, make sure it is someone that is going to give sound advice and can be that sounding board, because everybody always needs an outlet, but it's how that you utilize that outlet. Everything doesn't need to go outside of that household, but everything does need to be communicated inside that household. So whether it's lending money to mama or your friends in your business, you make sure that that significant other or that spouse knows what is happening inside of this relationship and outside, and all the little outside pieces that happen. And you know how to communicate about it. So that's family and friends. And that's actually also a little bit of money too, because the other thing that happens is the money situation is where one person is great with money and the other person sucks with money, right? And so I'm gonna use women. Men do it too, but I'm gonna use women. We go out and buy these expensive shoes and purses, and we spend Amazon package, Amazon package, Amazon package, Amazon package, Target, Walmart, where whatever your vice is, we go to those things. And granted, sometimes we're using just our own money, and I always suggest, this is just me as someone that was married for 15 years and as a therapist, that I always suggest that you have a joint account and your own separate money account, and your the other person's own separate money account. So that way you can put money into the joint account for all the bills and the things that you approve of from coming out of that account, and then you have your own separate money. Now, listen, you have to be able to manage your money, right? And so that takes financial literacy. That makes sure that your credit is at. You don't have, sometimes people don't have conversations about what is your credit score before we get married? How close are you to being able to buy a house together? Everybody's situation is different. And what happens with the finances is someone is messing up the money and somebody has to clean it up. And then you argue about the cleanup of those things. Well, now my credit score is 489 and your credit score is 6 something, but it used to be an 8 something. But because of the credit cards that you've been spending and I've had to shell out money to help here or there, or you've been giving to mama, daddy, cousin, sister, but not telling your significant other, but you pulling money out of your, and even if you are pulling money out of your own account that you have separately, you still need to let your significant other know. Why? Because guess what happens in a situation where you need to buy a house or a car? Bank statements get looked at. Where's this money going? Oh, you never have money and you're always asking me for money. Where's your money going? But if you always have a ledger of, hey, I spent money on this. I spent money on this. This is what my credit cards look like. And have a financial plan to get you where you're going, especially, and that brings us to the next reason that households break up: kids. Oftentimes, people don't have an account for the kids and their expenses. So, joint account, your account, their account, and then kids. Why? Because we have to leave a legacy for these kids, and Social Security is running out, retirement funds run out. If you don't have a way to save for that child, for their future, what if you pass away? God forbid. And that's financial and kids. And then here's where a lot of people fight about kids. Who's supposed to take them to the games? Who is supposed to make sure that they're fed? Who is supposed to clean up after them? What the discipline should look like? Because we all come in with that preconceived notion and that baggage. And if those conversations are not had beforehand, and we agree on the way we're going to raise our kids, not the way mama, daddy, cousin, grandma, friend Sue, Amber, whoever the case may be. We're not going by their blueprint. We're going by the blueprint that we discussed and that we outlined, right? And said, okay, discipline looks like this. Who's the disciplinarian? When it's time for school games and dances, and how are we dividing up this time? We can't make the kids a priority over our dating life, because that's the other reason why when kids come into the factor. A lot of times people go into, well, I got to take care of the kid. I don't have time for romance. No, you must make time for that romance. It's called put the baby to sleep, get grandma, cousin Sue, Amber, whoever the case may be, and make sure that you have a designated date night. Because what happens is after the kid is born, and you think you don't have to date anymore, and that's so not true. You must always continue to date your mate. Date night is pivotal in making sure that intimacy stays within your marriage. So when it comes to the kids, I'm going to put a pause in that. When it comes to the kids, sometimes we haven't talked to stepdads, stepmothers, and how that dynamic with their family are going to work. Before you get married to a person, this is the mature thing to do. If you can do it, if the other party is going to be mature about it, sit down. Have a conversation. This is what we have talked about, what's happening in our household once we get married. How, when it comes to the kid, do you want us to interact and intertwine and be a working family? It's so important to have that conversation because sometimes it's like, oh, well, no, you're not their daddy. I am. So I'm going to do X, Y, Z. No, this is a blended family now. And you are the stepfather and the stepmother, and that should be like your child, but still be respectful to the other parent. And those conversations have to be had. Communication is the key to all of this. So now I'm going to go back to date night real quick, right? So date night, sex, intimacy. Sex and intimacy are two different things. Intimacy is that, that spending time with each other. That could be holding each other. That could be just watching TV together in the bed, having long conversations about your day or whatever might be bothering you. That is intimacy. And what happens is then that intimacy leads to being sexual with that person. It doesn't always have to lead that way, but it can be because your significant other should be your best friend. So if you're having those great conversations and you're spending the quality time that person needs and you're affirming them if that's their love language and you're doing your acts of service, like if that's their love language, or you're buying them things that are appropriate for their gifts of their love language. And we can talk about love language in another live. But if you're doing all of those things, then sex shouldn't be that big of a problem unless there are health issues that can be addressed. Libido issues can be addressed. Wants and desires can be addressed, but they all have to do what? You have to communicate. You have to create a safe space so that you can talk about those things. So sex was the last one of the top 5 reasons why people get a divorce. And so avoidance of all of these things is communication. Sticking to those things that you have stated that you're going to commit to. If you are committing to having sex 2 or 3 times a week, then don't let the other person down, because obviously they need that if that's what the communication was. Now things happen, right? But I'm talking about on a regular basis. If the communication was that you're going to take out the trash on Mondays, then you need to stick to taking out the trash on Mondays. And again, everybody, Blue Moon, forgets about stuff. That's fine. But you have good conversations about it and don't let it be a pattern of things happening all the time. So anyways, guys, I said I wasn't going to be before you long, and I think I've been on here for a good almost 25 minutes. But the 5 reasons that people divorce are housework, family and friends, kids, sex, and money. And I've talked to you a little bit about how you can avoid those things. I talk about it in my ebook. Definitely get you a copy of that. I've left that in the link. Also, I teach a course called Be Presidential in the Bedroom, and that talks about creating a safe space for talking about sex. It talks about the love languages. It talks about preheating the oven for foreplay. It talks about mindfulness, unleash your inner porn star, and then setting some intimacy goals. There's a course coming out that's called Exploring Your Sexuality in a Healthy Way. There's many things that I offer as a coach. So definitely, if you're needing assistance in your relationship and you've heard something that resonates with you today, reach out to me. Don't be shy about this. Don't be stingy about it. Like, share, subscribe to YouTube if you're on YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram, and If you don't need anything, share it with someone that may need it. Okay, guys, because you never know what anybody is going through. So, again, my name is Candy J, and I'll see you in the post. Have a great day, guys.